So hi everybody. This is one of my favorite parts of the jewelry. I can't remember exactly which step it is, but I have already decided on my paints. I've already, gathered all the materials together. I made these different pours, as we call them, little paintings. I did this a couple months ago in response to someone who wanted a custom pair of earrings. So now I get to one of my other favorite parts. I love making the paintings. And then this is a really, really fun part. Is taking the glass and kind of moving it around on the different paintings, and just to see if anything will, will make a pretty pendant, or like this would be pendants if I use these. And there's really some really cool spots right here where there's gold and stuff. Kind of made some nice, these little bubbles we call cells. And I thought that size glass might work well. Maybe something like that. We'll see. But this piece here, I've actually got quite a few pieces of glass put on it because it's a really great painting. So you'll see here I've got two pieces for earrings and then a pendant. You can see how they look like cousins, right? And then these, the same thing here is I've got two, what looks like two earrings here and a pendant. Actually, these will go with that one. And then there's two more here that fit with that one. I'm amazed I got that many out of it. These two circle glasses here, there's a 12 millimeters or approximately half an inch. They will be for some custom earrings for someone. These right here will be bolos. And that will either be a choker or part of a pair of earrings. I haven't really played around with all of it yet just to get it, because they do need to look like cousins. So this would be the top of some double earrings, and I'm not quite sure what the bottoms are going to be yet, but I just wanted to show you kind of what happened. Okay, so I've got another, just a little like a leftover paint thing here, but look how gorgeous this, part of the painting is. So what I'm going to do, you'll see what happens when I glue it. I'm just going to pull up carefully this little piece of it, and I'm going to just put some glue down there and kind of get a glimpse of where I was going to put these, because there'll be some extra glue kind of squirt out here. And we'll press it down, and look at that. I'll move my fingers where you can actually see it here. And it's just so gorgeous. This extra glue I'll just put right there, and I can go ahead and put the earrings down that will go with it right there and right there, because of course the earrings need to look like their cousins. And this will be a pendant, but look how stunning that is. The gold paint just kind of shimmers in there. It's really, really pretty. So then this will dry now for about 3 days. And what I'll do is I'll go in here and I'll just pull out one little piece. And I'll set, this is a bolo or a ring. Aw. Sometimes they flip on me like that. It's just glue that I can clean off later. But I want to make sure I have enough glue, because any little air holes in there will create a little problem. So obviously I've got a little glue on the gloves. You see me wearing gloves, and that's because one of the important things about doing this is to keep the finger grease off of the glass. So because I had glue on that one, I'm reaching for another glove. I don't want to have a problem with every single piece of glass, and I don't want any of my finger grease on the glass. One of our steps, step 2 actually, is that we clean the glass and get all of the finger grease off of it. Okay, so we can see we've got this one here. This will be a larger ring or a bolo. It's a nice thing that some of these pieces of glass I can use for a couple different things depending on. Now what happens is when I got the glue in there, look how gorgeous this is now, because the glue makes it wet. Look at that. Look how gorgeous those colors are together. So this is a Southwestern palette, earth tones, whatever you want to call it, but because of the colors, it was really inspired by where my stepmother lives, who is one of our big fans, and she lives in the Phoenix area. And, we like to go up to Sedona where we're up there. And, oh, my gosh, just the sunsets and the colors. Everything there, just so pretty. Now, look how pretty these earrings are going to be right in here. Now that the glue is wet and you can really see the color under it. Look how pretty that's going to be. Those are actually a custom order right there. And now you'll see this long, skinny rectangle and these earrings here will actually be a set. Okay, so I'm gonna be careful about where I put this glue, because you can move the glass and say, where did I have that? So I know I was capturing a lot of these different colors in here. Look at that. That is going to be just so pretty. So pretty. So then I'll take, these are little earring pieces of glass, 1 inch. They're not heavy, so don't ever be afraid of getting these, ladies. They're not too heavy to wear. And then the little rectangle really doesn't, the long skinny rectangle here really doesn't weigh much either. So slide that in there. Sometimes the gloves are a little bit of a pain to use, but I don't want my finger grease on the glass. Now see how pretty that is. And then this pendant, you know, it could go with these earrings or those earrings. I'm to the point where I want to try to make at least 2 pairs of earrings for every pendant, because not everybody buys a set. And sometimes somebody really likes the earrings I made to go with the pendant, and then I have nothing left for that pendant. So I'm going to do this one now, and just kind of streak that glue right along there, and lay this piece of glass in there, and I'll press it down to kind of squish out the extra glass and make sure that it's secured on there. Thankfully, this glue sets very, very quickly, so I don't have to worry about like moving it by mistake. Oh yeah, that's gonna be so pretty with that turquoise. Just kind of at the top there. It's just really interesting and very native looking. So I want to make these look as much like cousins as I can, and there's not as much red in this one, but just by scooting it over right here, I pick up a little more red. There's red and black, and then of course we got about the same amount of turquoise at the top, and that's what I'm after. So here I'll remove both of these, because if I don't, the glue will squish out and get on one, even though I didn't pick it up. So I'm going to lay this in there and see if I can capture about the same amount of the colors. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. I just love this part. It's so fun. And I want to give that a little bit of separation there, so that when I do cut them out later, I won't pop a bubble in the glue. I'll make sure the glue stays. But so this is what happens, is just at this one gluing, and I'll have some other areas here I can glue later, maybe. But just at this one gluing, I have a lot of pretty pieces coming your way, ladies.